All right, Ms. Jones. Number 16, 22 CP 214246, 315 days without indictment, $5,000 good bond as of April the 13th on aggravated assault. Preach. Rah.
12 cycles. This is the only one out of Georgia. He has a 2011 conviction out of Missouri for robbery and armed criminal activity. You're nothing further.
All right, go ahead, Ms. Jones.
Judge, Brian is 51 years old. He is not married. He has been in Georgia for a year and a half. And in Georgia, he is homeless. He got a GED. He was in the Army for 4 years. And his bond is currently $5,000. We're asking that you set a bond less than that, Judge.
All right, Mr. Malkin. It looks like he's been in 315 days.
Yeah, we're going to ask the judge, we're going to ask Your Honor not to lower the bond any further based on the allegations, listed intimidation of the victim.
Based on what? I'm sorry, I can't hear you, Mr. Malkin.
I'm sorry, risk of danger to the victim.
Has the state been able to make contact with this person?
So you have to check on that.
Ms. Rhodes?
I seriously doubt it. Mr. Hall will stay away from that person.
Hold on, Mr. Rhodes. Ms. Rhodes, I'm sorry if you had any victim contact.
Does not look like it.
Right, let's see.
There's no
Yes, Ms.
victim
Sofrossi, you can. Thank you, Ms. Sofrossi. All right. See, no drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons. Stay away from 555 Lucky Street in Atlanta, Georgia. Stay away from all Georgia Tech property. He must supply an address where he'll be living.
He doesn't have an address, Judge.
When he gets out, he'll have to supply an address. He's going to have one. So somewhere, you're going to try to get him into a program?
What's the bond, Judge?
Well, I'm asking you, I haven't decided yet. I'm still going through my conditions.
Well, I mean,
So are you going to try to get him into a program?
I'm going to do whatever is appropriate for my client. All I know is that debtor's prisons don't exist anymore.
Ms. Jones,
My client doesn't have an address.
Ms. Jones, hold on. Just hold on. Be cool, okay? Everything's okay.
I'm very cool.
No. Ms. Jones, I'm a very patient person. So stop interrupting me and let's work something out so this young man can get out. So please focus on the questions that I'm asking.
I'm listening, Judge.
Tell you what, that's okay. That's all right. No drugs unless prescribed. Must supply an address where he'll be living upon bonding out. He's going to have an ankle monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew. Court, lawyer, medical, employment, as long as he supplies the name of his employer, proof of employment schedule, and the exact location he's going to be living. $4,000 good bond. Best of luck to you, sir. All right, let's see. Ms. Shubo, how about Deshaun Rivers? All right. If we're finished with you, can leave the booth. So it's position 1, 22 CP. Are we finished with 5 South, booth 3? Because you can go ahead and remove the camera.
Yeah, I think he's trying to get out the door.
Is it locked in there? I think he can't get the door open.
Okay,
I think they just opened it from the outside.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, number 1, 22 CP 211946, 401 days without indictment, aggravated assault, possession of a knife or a firearm during the commission of a felony, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, giving false info to a law enforcement officer, $31,000 good bond as of June the 8th. Preach.
7 cycles, 2021 conviction for possession of meth with intent to distribute, and nothing further.
All right. Go ahead, Ms. Shubo.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm sure over the course of the last years, you've heard many impassioned pleas about cases like this. My client's been in custody 401 days without indictment. This case, I've seen the body cam on this case. When the officers came to the scene, they didn't know who the victim and who the assailant was. They obviously later decided that Mr. Rivers was the assailant and the other gentleman who also had a gun was the victim. The case is eminently triable and is going to be a self-defense case. The only way that he can get to a fact finder who can make that decision is if this case gets indicted. But for either incompetence, recalcitrance, or malevolence, Mr. Rivers is still sitting in the Fulton County Jail. The Fulton County Jail, which is under DOJ investigation and is under it's under Georgia State Senate investigation as well. He's rotting away. He has lost weight. I'm asking for, in this case, for my client who's 25 years old, who is a lifelong Atlanta resident, who has a special needs child, a $1 bond on each count of the charges. He should be out of jail. This is too long for any person. And in a case that the issues are just facts, just determining what the facts are, that's the only issue. There's going to be testimony from the alleged victim. There's going to be testimony from my client. That's the entire case. There's no reason that this should take so long. My client has 3 times over asserted his rights to a speedy trial. We are now into presumptive prejudice and over presumptive prejudice on a Barker-Wingo analysis. My client needs to get out.
Okay, and does he has an address where he'll be living?
Yes, he does, Your Honor. It was on the last bond listed, the $31,000 bond, his address where he'll be living with his wife. He does have a Clayton County probation hold, so he won't even be released to the street. He'll go directly to Clayton County, where he has the possession with intent case that pretrial was talking about, his only other conviction. So he'll have to deal with that. But after a year of sitting, I would assume that there wouldn't be too much of a revocation over what's already gone on and what has already been punished prior to an actual charge in this case.
And I'll be glad. I think maybe Ms. Eustace, some of the other people have probably told you, I'll send an email into the night, people that have been in jail over 2, kind of as a reminder. Obviously, need to send one on the other one because they don't have a lawyer, but I will definitely include his name on my email. Mr. Malkin?
Thank you, Your Honor. I heard what Ms. Shubo said, and the state is requesting a $25,000 bond in this case, same conditions as previously given. And I'm sure Ms. Shubo may already be aware of this, but I would encourage her to contact Deputy District Attorney Jason Adams in our office in the Case Intake Division, who's in charge of getting people indicted who are in custody. Also, Executive District Attorney Ken Hutcherson, who is over the Case Intake Division. And
last time I tried to contact someone, they were, I'm sorry, Mr. Malcolm, did I cut you off?
Yeah, I was just going to put that out there, and just it sounds like you've already contacted people, but those are the ones that are the points of contact at this point.
And Your Honor, I understand, and I'm not blaming Mr. Malkin. I'm blaming the system and the district attorney's office that is failing person after person after person. But when you get to almost 14 months, it doesn't matter who's to blame anymore. My client should not be sitting in custody unindicted.
All right. I would, like I said, once again, I'll include this on my email. I got no drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons. Stay away from 2265 Perry Boulevard. And I think on my bond order of 6/8, he need to update his address upon release. He have an income order paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew, court, lawyer, medical, employment. You said he had a special needs son?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
Who was
basic
6
life-
months when he went in and is now almost 20 months old.
And basic life necessities, which would include anything he would need to do for the minor child. Okay.
Yes,
No
Your
further
Honor.
contact with Lerayh Matthews, Matthews. Once again, I'm going to include it on my email. So it'll be 5,000, 3,000, 3,000 UJR jail. Please, has he had a prelim? Please tell
He
me.
did have a prelim back in, I want to say January or December.
And if you wait a couple days, just file a new motion for bond. I want to get this back on here because we'll chop it down even more. But I'm going to include him on my email tonight. Okay.
Yes, and I filed 4 separate motions to reconsider bond, so I'll file my 5th.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, if you wait at least till Monday to file another one, so it won't kind of pass the bond order in the e-filing system.
Okay.
Best of luck to you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Have a good
Judge,
weekend.
just to confirm, you said 533 in UJR jail?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. And can I, oh, sorry. Can
Yes,
I
I
ask
can
the
do
court
that.
reporter to transcribe this? I want it clearly notated that we again asserted his right to a speedy trial.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. May
Thank
I be
you. Have-
excused?
Yes, ma'am. Have a good weekend.